Barton FM, following Barton Town. Sport on Barton FM is sponsored by Easy Buy.
Welcome to Swans Talk with me, Richard Watts. I'll hand straight over to Trevor Richards, who's talking to Danny North.
Good evening, Danny.
Good evening.
Seem to have a good turnout of players today.
Yeah, as it should be really. Obviously, at times work gets in the way of things, but no, it is a good turnout, and need to see a reaction after Tuesday now. Okay. I think that's what the players are here want to do.
Yeah, elephant in the room, Knaresborough. I mean, they're a bit of a bogey squad for us.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, we had a game plan. We talked about it before the game, how we were going to start the match. Similar to Emily, really, which I thought for the first 10 minutes we did. But from what I said was pretty much a waste of time. We give the ball away pretty much from kick-off, and you're on the back foot then. And they scored early.
That makes it difficult to get back in the game?
Yeah, it does, yeah. It's obviously you go to places that are difficult, and we knew what Knaresborough were about. Physical team, put themselves about and play percentages really, and it was effective. But yeah, we managed to get back in the game, and then, as is quite a regular occurrence lately, individual mistakes are biting us a little bit at the minute, which is as much you can coach as much as you want, or you can talk about things, but individual errors, unfortunately, they are part of the game, and it is what it is. But when you get yourself back into a game, you don't need that to happen straight away.
No. So you say you had a bit of a game plan. How does that get affected by the team you're playing against, who obviously are going to be playing their game?
Yeah, so obviously we want to set our stall out on how we want to play, and how we want to do it would want to make the other team change rather than us worry so much about them. Every team in the same boat. They'll have ideas and things, and if it works, it works. But like I say, we go out with a game plan, and it's pointless after minute one when you give the ball away. You're fighting a losing battle.
And we had a bit of a luxury, 2 keepers at that game. So we had Jordan Douglas starting,
yeah,
and we had Dave Birch on the bench. Yeah. Was that planned, or was it just the fact that they were both available?
No, so obviously we've been speaking to Dougie once the 7 days cleared, and trying to get him in, just because Birch is not always available. So ideally I want the keeper that's here all the time. So speaking to Dougie, come in, see how it is. He's obviously here again tonight. We'll keep having conversations, but yeah, I think we was in the unlucky position of, obviously, when Muzzy left, not having a keeper really at the club. Yeah. So we've had to go out, and it's a difficult position to go, especially this time of the season. So obviously we've got them 2 in. We've got I don't really know what's going on with Dougie at the minute. Ideally we stay in. It's just conversations I need to have with him, and obviously what he needs to have with Ferriby, what they think.
So we're sharing him with North Ferriby.
Yeah. So it's only a dual registration. Yeah, absolutely. Which obviously it helps us. Yeah. So yeah, it's still a bit up in the air at the minute regarding the keepers, but it'll come good.
Right, we're at Campion Saturday. Yep. Have you got any injuries from Tuesday? Anybody missing? I understand Josh Lacey will be available.
So Josh is back. Reese isn't available from a prior. It's his birthday, and right. Before we signed him, he'd had it booked while he was still with Bottersford. So obviously we have to honour that. You know, as unfortunate as it is what it is. Other than that, I think pretty much everyone else is available.
So Reece not being available, he's been starting up front, so that means you're going to have to change the squad around from what we actually played on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So does that give you any difficulties because players aren't available? Or the fact that we've now got Josh Lacey in there means you can shuffle somebody else about?
Yeah. So there'll be a couple of changes anyway. Need to do something to try and get a winning formula. Reece being unavailable just mean that Tom will go up front, and we'll adjust it from there. Yeah.
And hopefully the weather will be okay, because I understand West Yorkshire is supposed to be getting a load of snow tomorrow.
Oh, brilliant!
So hopefully it'll be okay. Not been to Campion, have we?
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Not this season.
Not this season.
No. I think we did last year. I want to show you we drew. I was.
Right.
I don't know if I was away. I've never been.
Right.
But I know we have as a club. But yeah, it'll be. I'm sure we have anyway. I might be talking absolute rubbish.
They're at the top of the table.
Yeah, so they're up there. They started really well, and they played up until a month ago. I think they played more games than anyone. They were top, but obviously Emily are kicked on now. But no, it'll be a difficult team. From speaking to a couple of people, they're an experienced team and strong going forward, which. You get that at this level, but then on the flip side of it, we know we're strong as well. Obviously, the results for the last few games haven't been good or what I want. But look, we've beat teams up there. There's no reason why we can't again.
And I noticed, because obviously I do the programme, that we've got coming up. We've got a Tuesday, Saturday and Saturday at home. That's 4 games in 2 weeks.
If the weather stays.
If the weather stays okay. Is that a bit of a concern? Because obviously we risk carrying players that aren't available through injury because they're playing so many games now.
That's what happens, isn't it? When obviously how the weather's been, and obviously our pitch. There's going to be a backlog. It's going to be about managing them, and if there is a lad with a niggle, you've got to look at it in the long term, really, because there's so many games coming up thick and fast. You don't want to be missing. If someone can only be missing for 1 game, you'd rather that than missing for 6 or 7. We had it with Kingy a little bit earlier in the season, where he, as much as he wanted to play, we had to manage it right, purely because I'd rather him give an extra week to make sure he's right than get him back and him break down again. So it'll just be about managing it. I think we've got 20 signed as reserve players that obviously I'm using that are good enough as well. So
I've noticed some of the reserves have been in the squad. And they've been doing well.
Yeah, so Joel's obviously been with the club a while as well now, and I think I've used him a lot more lately, and he's a good player. When he comes on, he more often than not makes an impact. Obviously, we had Brad Needham came to Pickering. He come on like towards the end slightly, but he's come on and you can see the quality he's got. It's just he's not always available. Otherwise, he'd be another one that'd be with us a bit more. But yeah, so there is players there when we need them, really. And like I say, it's important as a club that we can try and get them through, and it all works well.
Okay, looks like Pete Wynn's getting them all G'd up for training. So thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
We'll see you on Saturday.
You will do.
Cheers.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
That's it for this edition of Swans Talk. Thanks for listening.